All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and
The
girls,
time has come.
for what everyone has been waiting for.
Everyone,
Every single person we've met in our entire life has been waiting for this moment right here.
this is the first Sonder Sites podcast
Ever.
ever.
Episode 1, mark it down, mark your calendars for the next episode, because this is about to knock your socks off. Anyways, we're excited. I hope you guys are excited as much as we are. You're probably not, because you're like, who the hell are these guys?
Exactly.
And that's what we're going to tell you today. This is just the introduction to what we are as Sonder Sites.
To my right, we have this lovely man, Trevor Call. I will just briefly, I guess, describe this man.
I would love you to introduce me. I would love that.
I would love to too. This man is a videographer by trade. He is also a very good videographer through all of his hard work. And how long you been doing it? About a year and a half, 2 years?
Well, first of all, that's too kind. And almost
Something.
2.
2 years.
It's coming up.
I was actually talking about this earlier, but I remember our first, one of our first travel experiences together was Guatemala, and you did videos of that, he had his iPhone and his gimbal for his iPhone, and going back and looking at those videos, there's just already such a improvement, such a just skyrocket of learning and quality with.
I mean, it was pretty easy to improve since then because, like you said, it was iPhone, and
It's true.
I didn't know what we were doing. That was like literally the first month that I tried video out. And that's actually really cool that you bring that up because I basically didn't know what I was doing and I just kind of started it and I just kind of went into it and tried it. And that's exactly what Sonder Sites is because we've been wanting to work together. We've been wanting to start a business and start growing something that's our own. And so we don't know really what we're doing.
Right, and that is kind of a theme. And Trevor is a great example. Like, he dropped out of college to come move to Utah. He's done a lot of these abrupt, I'm going to figure it out or I'm going to fail, like I'm going to die, basically. It's like a do or die mentality with Trevor. All in all, through his talents and through his expertise of just jumping in the deep end, he is a great business partner to have, you know?
Thank you, my good man. But mainly, our hard hitter over here in the left corner, Pierce Walker. Man, he might be skinny, but dang, he packs a punch. Here's the thing. I struggle with being fat, and Pierce struggles with being skinny, and so we're trying to help each other. That is off topic, but Pierce Walker, my man, first of all, super hard worker. He's been traveling all over because his mom is also a badass.
Yeah, I guess I come from a family of badasses. It's true.
Pierce has fallen behind a little bit, but he's trying to make up for it. His mom, she's a dean of a college?
She's a vice president.
Vice president now.
Of a college, yeah.
So anyway, she's a gangster, and Pierce gets a lot from her. Hard worker. He's a surgical tech at the U of U hospital. I convinced him when I moved up to Utah that he should move up. So we both kind of got jobs up in Utah at the same time, and that's kind of why we're here. And we've been here for about a year and a half, coming up on 2. So anyways, everything that we've done in our life this past year and a half has just been so new and so different. And we have so many different experiences that we want to share. Tear and share. Maybe tear apart and then share it with the world.
Tear deep into your soul and dive into some trauma. There's a lot that we could do here.
Oh boy, no.
Who knows?
Anyways, so this is the dynamic duo, best friends for 10 years. That's a fist bump, ladies and gentlemen, that you didn't see.
In an introduction to ourselves, I've also been best friends since high school in freshman year, which was how long ago?
Like 9?
Yeah, 9
Almost.
years ago.
It's coming up.
Yeah, so being best friends, and like Trevor said, he kind of convinced me after moving away from high school, he convinced me to just have like this reuniting fun time in Utah, basically. And this is where it's led. A year and a half here, we've learned a lot, we've grown a lot, failed a lot, and we have decided to start a lovely business together.
So let's talk Sonder. The definition of Sonder is I guess our personalized definition of Sonder is the realization that everyone around you is the main character of their own story. I've always had, it kind of came from me, I would say. I'm going to take ownership on that.
For sure.
That's my flag. Like when in driving and in just passing by people, I just had this like thought, I'm like, geez, like I've had 23 years of experiences and stories, and I have a best friend and I have a mom and I have a dad. And like every single person that you walk by has similar stories, has similar experiences. They've had their worst day, they've had their best, you know. It's all around people, I guess, to tie that in.
Exactly. And we created this idea of making money off of something you love because we found a deep love for the outdoors and for people that we've met along the way. So I feel like a lot of these thoughts, like the thought of Sonder, the idea of Sonder, stemmed from just all these repeated trips.
Yeah, the summer of 21 was just filled with trips, camping, meeting new people. Like we would know one person out of the group and we would go on this camping trip, and then we would meet 4 other people, and then we would get their phone numbers and be friends with them, and then go on a trip with them the next week. Anyways, it was just very, very busy. From Guatemala to our trip in Hawaii this year and all of summer up until now, November, we've just had so many experiences, seeing cool places, being around cool people, and that's really what inspired Sonder Sights. For me and my videography brand, I want to reach a customer that is passionate about what they do, and because I believe that passionate people deserve more from their passions. If someone's passionate about it, they can make money from it. And so that's basically what we're trying to do. Is we're passionate about travel, passionate about people, bettering ourselves, and that's kind of the culture and the brand that we're trying to build right now.
Right, the idea behind the business. I think that it's also cool because there's a lot of things that we have realized with starting a business and trying, being best friends. It's like a dream to be in a business together and make the money and travel the world and have all the money and the glory. But
It's not easy.
It's not. We're in the studio. Like, this is our first podcast episode, right? And we have like blankets kind of surrounding an area for us. There's a lot of little things that we don't know that we're learning. There's a lot of things that we don't have that we're either renting or we're makeshifting. And so it's been fun, but it's hard, and can be stressful and difficult. And those are things that social media doesn't really portray either. And so it's fun and nice to, again, be like in the present moment. That's another thing with being outdoors and being around people is usually you don't have service. And so you do have these great conversations, and it is a time away from the social media or like the just typical everyday mundane, hey, how are you? How's life? How's it going? Oh yeah, cool. See you never type of thing,
That's true. It's been a big struggle. Like we want to be in the moment, but we also have to think about like building this business, and nothing ever goes to plan. We were supposed to launch last Sunday. Of course, this is the only weekend that the bank was closed. They were doing maintenance on their online banking system, and so we couldn't even link. That was like our last thing that we needed to do, was link our bank account to our website to obviously get paid and everything. And so we couldn't do that, and it was really frustrating. The whole week we were struggling to do all this. And anyway, so nothing ever goes according to plan, and that's something we're trying to be very transparent about, that we don't know exactly what we're doing, but we're trying, and hopefully we just encourage other people to act on their passions and like make that first step in that business or whatever they're trying to do.
Exactly. And I feel like we have a saying too that it goes live and learn, and it's simply like
We never do it.
right, like you just kind of live. I mean, that's kind of the idea though, is that like you live and you learn, or do you really? Because you live and you do something like mustard bottles, for example. You go camping and you have hot dogs and you forget your ketchup and mustard. So every trip, this is personal, I guess I should say. This is a real story. Every trip we go, we have hot dogs. At least for most of our camping trips, we were having hot dogs, and every time we forgot our ketchup and our mustard. And so eventually we look in our fridge and we have like 7 to 9 mustard bottles rowed in a row, rowed up.
They rode up in there and
Never left. And But yeah, it's just like, come on, guys. Like, can't you live and learn? Can't you? You've lived how you've forgotten your mustard, and now here you are still doing the same thing. And so it's
Right. Like you would think after the first time, it's like, okay, we can't forget this next time. And like at least by the third time, maybe the fourth time, but no, it was like literally seven. We had 7 bottles of each. We had to throw them all out.
yeah.
And yeah, live, learn, laugh, just enjoy life, and put it all in the past. I only
Right.
said that because it rhymed.
He's got a quite a thing for rhyming these days. He's a side freestyler, you know. Not really, but
You will learn the ways of my rapping skills in the future.
it's true. So yeah, I guess in summary, we're just two dorks, 23-year-olds, young, dumb, living a fun life, and we're here to truly inspire people, regardless of age, regardless of gender, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like Trevor said, like I have personally, I guess speaking, I have a family of some cool people, and they have good jobs, and they appreciate college educations, and
And Pierce is here. He's trying to catch up. He really is.
I
He's
mean, I
putting
have
in
my
the effort.
associates, right? There's some there's some level of education.
You didn't drop out like me, I guess.
It's true. Trevor's a true disappointment.
I'm an accident. I'm a dropout. The list goes on and on. So
Forever. Yeah, but I think it's just mainly we're here to have conversations with each other and just express the many thoughts and the many feelings in our minds and in our heads and pressing on our souls, whether they attain.
yeah, there's going to be a lot to be talked about on this podcast because this year and a half has been so like life-changing for us. Just lots about travel, funny stories that's happened over the past little bit, life advice, just like deep conversations that we've had previously or that we want to have, and we have a whole list of just topics that we want to talk about. And if you guys like have questions too, like we want to talk about what people want to learn or like want to know about us. So anyways, there's going to be a lot to talk about, but that was kind of the intro to Sonder Sites, to Pierce and Trev.
And we welcome
yeah.
anyone who's here, and we are just excited. We're excited to finally start.
One of my favorite things is to take a new person out into, I was going to say the wilderness, but like really we haven't done.
Outside.
Yeah, we just want
Go
them to be in the
camping.
outdoors. Like we've had a few kids, not kids really, but like a few people that we took out this summer that it was literally their first time ever camping. And it was a cool experience for us, I think, to be a part of that first time for them. And that's something that we want to do way more in the future, is to do like retreats and get people outdoors. Something that we want to strive for is we want to help people disconnect from the virtual world and reconnect with the real world, because there's a whole other world on your phone, and when you're in front of it all day, every day, especially with social media, you kind of get distracted, not in the best ways. And so putting that down and letting it aside helps you realize that you're a human being, and you're like this creature, you're this animal. You're supposed to be out in this wilderness to explore. So there's a lot of future plans that we have for Sonder Sites, but again, beginning stages, first steps,
Here we are.
mankind,
One step after the next.
giant leaps, you might say, one by one, tiptoeing through life. Figuring it out.
Yeah, yes. Yes. Indeed, good sir.
Indubiously, that is what we're coming here to talk to you about. So
tune in for the next one.
and we are excited to continue. So in conclusion, we're just stoked to be doing this, even if one person listens, if 10, 100,000, whatever. We're just excited to start and just see where it goes.
Exactly right. So tune in next time. We're excited.
Heck yeah.
See ya.
On the next one, Pierce and Trev.
Goodbye.
All right, signing off. Bye-bye.